The message arrived on a Tuesday. Humanity had spent decades preparing for first contact, carefully constructing the perfect diplomatic approach, only to receive a terse rejection notice. Application for membership in the Star Federation denied. Commander Alex Davis stared at the screen, the blue light illuminating the deep lines etched into his weathered face. 50 years of space exploration had culminated in this single dismissive message. Grounds for rejection, he asked the AI interface. Insufficient technological development, inadequate genetic profile, primitive societal structures, the AI recited dispassionately. Additional note, species deemed too aggressive for integration. Too aggressive. Davis almost laughed. Humanity had spent the last century deliberately tempering its warlike tendencies, transitioning toward peaceful cooperation. Yet the Federation had taken one look at their history and deemed them unworthy. So that's it? Lieutenant Morgan asked from across the command center. We're just excluded? Davis straightened his shoulders. Informed the United Earth Council. We need to reconsider our position. The rejection struck Earth like a thunderbolt. For a week, markets crashed and riots broke out in major cities. Religious leaders proclaimed the end times, while conspiracy theorists suggested the whole thing was a government hoax. Then something unexpected happened. Humans did what they always did when faced with rejection. They got angry, then they got busy. They think we're technologically inferior. Dr. Eliza Thompson addressed the Emergency Scientific Summit in Geneva. Then let's show them what humans can do when properly motivated. Within a month, research funding tripled worldwide. Old rivalries were set aside as nations pooled resources. If the Star Federation wouldn't have them, they would build something better. 10 years passed. The first true faster-than-light drive emerged from labs in Nairobi, utilizing principles the Federation had deemed theoretically unsound. Quantum communications networks developed in Rio achieved instantaneous data transfer across previously impossible distances. On Mars, the first true off-world colony declared independence that immediately signed a mutual defense pact with Earth. Humans were spreading, evolving, adapting. Commander Davis, now Admiral Davis, stood on the observation deck of the UES Defiance, humanity's first true interstellar vessel. At 72, he had never expected to see the stars up close. Ready to make history, Admiral? Captain James Wilson asked, his dark eyes reflecting the starlight. More than ready, Davis replied. Let's show the galaxy what rejection does to a species like ours. The first human colony outside the solar system was established on Proxima Centauri, a world the Federation had classified as uninhabitable. Human ingenuity and stubbornness proved otherwise. Within another decade, 3 more star systems hosted human settlements. Each colony developed distinct cultural identities while maintaining close ties to Earth. They called it the Terran Cooperative, not an empire, but a network of allied worlds bound by their common humanity. Along the way, they discovered something unexpected. They weren't alone in their rejection. We were deemed too passive, explained Ambassador Trell of the Volari, a species of tall, willowy beings with iridescent skin. The Federation only accepts species that fit their precise criteria. Thousands have been rejected over the millennia. More contacts followed. The Heptar, rejected for their unusual biological processes. The Drav, whose philosophical views were deemed incompatible. Each rejection story strengthened humanity's resolve. 50 years after the rejection notice, the Terran Cooperative encompassed 27 star systems and included alliance agreements with 6 non-human species. Their technological growth outpaced Federation predictions by centuries. They're requesting a meeting, Lieutenant Osborne reported, her voice tinged with disbelief. The Federation Council wants to discuss our admission. The meeting took place on neutral ground, a space station orbiting a red giant star. Admiral Wilson, James's daughter, and Davis's protege led the human delegation. The Federation representatives appeared as expected, tall, elegant beings with metallic skin and expressions of practiced benevolence. We have been monitoring your development with great interest. Spokesperson began. Your species has shown remarkable growth. We believe it is time to reconsider your application. Admiral Wilson's smile didn't reach her eyes. "We're not applying." The Federation representatives exchanged glances. "Perhaps you misunderstand. We are offering you membership in the most prestigious." "We understand perfectly," Wilson interrupted, "but we're declining. The Terran Cooperative has its own path now." "This is unprecedented," the spokesperson sputtered. "The benefits of Federation membership would come with Federation control," Wilson finished. "We've learned from our rejected friends that your membership means conformity. We prefer our differences." The meeting ended shortly after. As the human delegation departed, their Federation counterparts watched in stunned silence. Word spread quickly throughout the galaxy. The species that had been deemed too aggressive, too unpredictable, had not only survived but thrived, and then refused the Federation's belated acceptance. More rejected species sought out the cooperative. What had begun as humanity's response to dismissal was becoming something new, a coalition of the unwanted, each bringing unique perspectives and abilities. Admiral Davis lived just long enough to see the cooperative officially renamed. The Alliance of Independent Species celebrated its founding with representatives from 42 worlds. "They rejected us because they feared what they couldn't control," Davis told the assembled delegates in his final public address. "But in doing so, they created exactly what they feared most, a coalition that values diversity over conformity, innovation over tradition, and courage over caution." He smiled at the alien faces before him, some terrifying by human standards, others hauntingly beautiful, all united by a shared experience. They rejected us, and in doing so, made us stronger than they could possibly imagine. Today, we don't build an empire to conquer the Federation. We create a home for all who believe in self-determination. As Davis concluded his speech, the great hall erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds, the equivalent of thunderous applause across dozens of species. Humanity had been rejected, but in that rejection, they had found their true place in the cosmos, not as subjects, but as architects of a new galactic order.